Okay, I probably didn't select it properly. Try it again.
Keshe Foundation Ghana, in association with Ghana Atomic Commission and Ghana Spaceship Institute, would like to invite you to attend the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference, October 17th through 19th, 2016, in Ghana. Keshe Foundation Ghana's mandate is to build awareness and promote research into plasma technology. The Foundation is presently working with governmental institutions and other interest groups in Ghana to fulfill this goal. At the conference, you will be afforded the opportunity to learn about and experience plasma technology firsthand. The cost of admission to the conference includes 3-night stay in one of Ghana's prestigious hotels. Hotel packages include a single, double, or twin room option, and an option for an apartment or suite. Breakfast, tea, and coffee breaks and a buffet lunch on the days of the conference are also included. Keshe Foundation Ghana is focused on utilizing plasma technology to solve numerous problems facing the African nation. Come to the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference in Ghana. Learn about plasma technology and learn how you can participate in spreading the word about it. Together, we can bring freedom to Africa and humanity. And we hope to see you there. The Keshe Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and specialty to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, and veterinarians. Scientists of the Keshe Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today.
Okay, welcome everyone to the 138th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And once again, we're gathered here with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I believe he's ready to begin today's workshop. Mr. Keshe, are you available there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seeker programs. There are a couple of points which we just seen on the videos. The Ghana, whoever applied for, please complete the application and everything by end of this week, or at least early next week. Till we don't get security clearance, your application will not be processed. This is very important. The Ghana event is a scientific event, and it's part of the structure, as we explained before, a regular scientific presentation of papers and knowledge across the world. This is the first one. Second one is in December 2016, end of this year, 12th, 13th, 14th, in Rome, where we have asked the doctors to present their papers on the first day, even if you go to the second day. If you're a medical doctor and you've done some work, or you're not a medical doctor, on the health application and you want to share it as a scientific paper, we open the doors for you to do. You need to submit the paper to us, or what it is about, that we can assess and look at it. We don't assess it, we look at it and we understand it, and you are invited to make presentation of your, what we call your discovery in this conference. These conferences, we try to make it as regular as 3 to 4 a year, that the latest development in the foundation work can be shared. What we do in reality is that we teach you in these teachings, in knowledge workshops, and in the private teaching, some 400 or 500 students at the moment in the teaching, and in a way you become graduates, you become scientists of this field. Be it a housewife, be it a scientist, you add your knowledges. You can show not only how the system works, and we want to see how the system doesn't work, where it doesn't apply, and what you see as alternative using the technology the way you see it. We are not there to silence the critics. We are there to show, in conjunction and help of the critics and people who see what could be is not looked at, what we need to look at to submit papers. This is not to glorify the technology, but in a way to bring it in balance, that all the people who work around the plasma technology, not only ours, but the plasma technology, the way we understand it, are allowed to submit papers, submit knowledge, share knowledge. So if you attend Ghana, Ghana is more or less governmental presentation. We expect the President of Ghana and the Prime Ministers to be attending the opening. The invitation has been extended to a number of ministers and ambassadors in African nations. It's a highly official meeting, presentation of science of the space technology. We expect the same to be in Rome. We are inviting ambassadors and leading politicians of Italian government into the presentation of Ghana, Rome. This is the way we interact. We show the science, that the decision makers of the country can see the change physically themselves firsthand from the scientists of their own culture, their nationality. So we expect in our Rome meeting to be followed with the next one somewhere in, as we announced, in March, 1st to the 4th of March in Rome, or we decide another location for it. The presentation in Ghana is mainly on agriculture, on the energy, and on the space technology. Very much we concentrate on medical application of the technology in Ghana, and we go straight away into collaboration and opening up of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing in Ghana. All the documents in partnership with the government has signed and sealed. The program is very simple. We are and we have become part of the Keshe Foundation, has become part of the Ghana Atomic Commission. We are, our offices, everything is set to be in the Ghana Atomic Center in conjunction, collaboration with others. We have not gone in there with just talk. Benjamin has been working heavily, showing every aspect of the application of the technology, one by one in past 8 months. Decontamination, energy production, health application. So we have established our point, our stand on the credit of the technology. And this is the beauty of it. So when we have the ministers and the high officials in the meeting, because they have already seen the results, now we are going, it's literally opening up the foundation from a scientific standpoint of view to a commercialization for the whole of Ghana nation. And from there, we move into other African nations. There is a possibility that the whole structure will extend back into Kenya. The Kenyan documents, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing and Foundation is already signed. So we expect the Kenya to be the next manufacturing and development research center. And then we go to Nigeria, which Alex is. We are strengthening our fields of strengthening Africa heavily. We expect to be in Sierra Leone within the next 2 to 3 months, in conjunction, collaboration with the Sierra Leone universities. We are establishing scientific bases in Africa, which means Africa becomes a center point for all the research and development. Foundation is heavily investing in Africa. We have to, because we see it as a point where the development of the technology is needed, and it will be much less what we call aggressive opposition. The opposition to Keshe Foundation, as we are teaching more and as with this spreading, is becoming more and more what we call centralized. We see direct what we call intervention and collaboration between governments trying to stop the spread of the knowledge because they see it as a threat to their industries or whatever. This cannot be. We are not a threat. We are part of the structure. People inside are teaching outside. We had an unfortunate event in the past 7 days that one of the directors of the Keshe Foundation was arrested for 2 days, intimidated by the American government in Los Angeles airport. This cannot happen. Next time, if we see this, we release security apparatus information that it can damage security apparatus of the people who threaten us. You cannot arrest Keshe Foundation directors in airports in transit the way it happened to me, and this is a 3rd time. American government, you cannot intervene with the transfer of knowledge freely across borders. You cannot arrest directors and operators of the Keshe Foundation in airports, intimidating them, holding them in what we call solitary confinement for 48 hours to threat. We've seen the same operation in Canada with me. Now we see the same operation 3rd time in Los Angeles. If this repeats, we release security information which can damage the security at airports for you to know. We know more than we do. We respect your integrity. You have to respect the integrity of the Keshe Foundation operation. Do not interfere with our work of scientific level, not in other levels. The companies who work in the background to create this mayhem for us, we respond heavily by releasing knowledge that makes your technology and what you have invested on zero effective. If we come across any more what we've seen happen in Los Angeles airport in past 7 days, interfering with transmission of the messages between different Keshe Foundation, what we call personnels, delaying it by 3 to 5 days, and then releasing it after releasing the person from what we call custody unnecessarily, just to intimidate, we will respond with knowledge release. That's the only thing we'll do. We don't threaten. We release knowledge. And that knowledge will literally does what you did not want to do. Every time from now on we see any threat against us, we release more knowledge that makes more advanced technologies of the present time obsolete. We don't attack, we just expand the knowledge. My direct call goes to those who made this threat and carried it out to hold one of the directors of the Keshe Foundation out of reach of the family, 48 hours in Los Angeles airport for no reason, just to trying to intimidate. We can release technology for those who made the arrangement to be intimidated back with technology that their shares become zero value. This is how much you have to know as we work as a Keshe Foundation family, how much we are standing pressures from different people. It's well organized now. The flight was stopped to be known. The transmission of flight and everything, which is kept controlled by us, that we know where every personnel is at the movement, was delayed by 3 days that we are not aware of. But they were not aware that we'll communicate on the other lines, not just on what they monitor. We knew exactly where our offices are. As the Keshe Foundation worldwide, we operate, our researchers, our office holders have to be free of movement. This is part of the deal we have. We share freely, we have to be free to move. And any move, any repetition of what we've seen, this is the third time by the American government interfering directly with the Keshe Foundation offices movement or their families, I will respond with such a force of knowledge release that it will shock the whole structure. And I'll respond to you this way with what you've done to us today, this week. Keshe Foundation has reached and will release solid state transfer of energy. The Keshe Foundation researchers and development in 4 different locations in different operations, we have managed to transfer energy free. And we can replicate the system very simply. We are developing high transfer energy directly as a generator and what we said, wireless energy transfer. Very much what Tesla did, but in a plasma condition. The plasma transfer energy can be extended, and in the coming next 2 weeks or so, we will show the whole operation as a blueprint. What we called the hybrid system is overtaken and overpassed by the new wireless energy plasma transfer, and it is extremely effective. In this process, we do not need to have any more wire connections, transmissions. It needs to be done, and we need 1 transmitter and number of receivers. The last stages of the development of this free, what we call a wireless system, will be shown. We can show you the process even now. The videos are there. The people who work in 3, 4 different locations around the world can show you the system. This is important for us because this takes all the shackles of the energy, and we can do with 1 transmission post feeding the whole city. This is not a dream anymore. This is the reality. We have managed to do 2.5 kilowatt transfer across a small gap, which now is transmitted to a sphere of the point. Now what we showed, energy transfer wireless, which was developed some 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. Now we are allowing the Keshe Foundation scientists to develop it independently. This is important. So we have now replication of what we said before, wireless transmission. And in wireless transmission, we feed back the energy we captured back into the generator itself to become self-sufficient. So free energy, which became the word of the past for explaining how you can create the energy is finished. This is the plasma technology transfer. Is more or less those of you who worked or work around Tesla system understand this very fully. With time and the position becomes independent. There are 4 different locations which are developing this technology in different ways on this at this moment. We keep 2 in public and 2 in the background, that the information stays the same as what we saw we were expecting in Los Angeles airport last week. So what we will deliver, the hybrid system is super fast. The new systems are much more compact. The receiver and the antenna will be delivered in a very simple way, and this will respond back to those who were trying to push us to the point of no delivery and trying to slow the process. You have actually speeded up the release. We were not going to announce the development that we have achieved, what we call solid state and the transmission, but as I told you, every time we are touched, we respond with the love and care of more free information and technology. This is the only way it will be done. The process, what is interesting, what we've seen in the past week in the United States, is that confirmation that the technology given to TEPCO was 100% correct, and our technology was used heavily and is getting used by American organizations in the benefit of themselves by trying to cover up and silence our development. My response to the company who made the move with the American government against Keshe Foundation last week is as follows. We would like to speak with you. We have more technologies that can benefit TEPCO more. You sit on our lines. That's what we understood from the position of the interrogation and questioning. You are involved, you sit on the line and you listen to it. Now we tell you one thing. We have more for you to carry on to TEPCO and to make more money out of it. We help you to become richer. Blocking us is not the retaliation of telling something. We would like to give you more information. We don't mention the name of the company. It's just been sold for 360 million out of worth nothing using the Keshe Foundation materials and technology. Now we respond to you this way. We give you more. We give you more that you can make more advanced technologies. You making profit is our dream because you bring advancement to our technology. You have to understand this is the process we are looking at. This is what we are looking. Every time we get pressurized, we get hit, we offer you more that puts you to shame in your conduct. The company, you know who you are. We have mentioned your name before. We have more information for you to become richer and make more profit with your shares in the American market. In trying to use our technology and on the back of it, trying to silence that you can make that nobody knows. Now everybody knows who you are, what you've done, and we have more for you to make more money. We have a number of announcements on the back of what we have seen. Those are you who are in alternative medicine and you are registered with your government and you can show to the Keshe Foundation health section, the doctors, that you are in practice of alternative and you've been at least for 5 to 10 years. It's not just that you practice, but it's registered as a practitioner in alternative medicine. You are allowed from now on to join the doctors at Keshe Foundation. This brings a team of 700 doctors in China who've been waiting on the wings to join us. And this way we open the door to them that they can join. These are the what we call the traditional Chinese medicine doctors, which they operate. There's a group of 700 of them. They can join us. We allow the full translation to Chinese for you as a group, as a secure, and it's the responsibility of Keshe Foundation China to organize this for us. If you're an alternative medicine practitioner, please, and you want to use our technology, fill in the forms, go through the normal procedure. We have to be, and we'll check through all sorts of ways, our security, that You are an operating, you have a long-standing operational system in respect to alternative medicine, and now you can join the application of the technology for the health application. We have announcement to make, and this is important as we are an international organization and we have become, in a way, as a structure of the independent, what we call a structure of governing ourselves. We have to share knowledge of what we have as a government of what we call one nation to the rest of the population. Keshe Foundation has shared this knowledge with national securities and international securities where we gather information. There is a high alert. Please keep off highly populated areas beginning from today till Sunday night. This is the only warning we give you. We have received information, and as citizens of Keshe Foundation worldwide, we have to protect our people. You are part of the Keshe Foundation family, and we look after our family. Our security information at the highest level has seen and reporting high threat in major cities possible. Alert is high level, and that's why we are sharing it with you. Keep away from, I repeated this 2 weeks ago, now the high point is starting from this morning European time till Sunday night. We have seen our alert stopping a process before, because once they know we know and we go public with it, it stops them from carrying out. The reason you don't see it, because by releasing information, we don't preempt. We show that we are part of the one family organization and we protect each other. We even protect those who are trying to help the others. Our intelligence is very clear. Please keep off major cities, keep off churches till Sunday night. Western Europe is on a high level risk. Some American cities are in the same position. You are part of the Keshe Foundation, you live in these cities, and intelligence has to be shared. Jewish community in France has been informed, and you will not see them in public till Sunday night. The whole of Jewish population of France, Paris especially, is off the street. They will not operate, they all be on holidays. So the Keshe Foundation supporters deserve the same. Please, if you live in Paris, Rome, Milan, Berlin, London, Manchester, major cities, European cities, just be on your guard. The level of attack is very high. International securities call it the full red alert. It means the attack could be imminent, and this means our followers have to stay alert. It's our job. We don't keep secrets. The way we share our knowledge, we share security too, that we protect you. Harm to you or your family, your friend, is a harm to Keshe Foundation. This is important for us. Please understand, we are not making a scare. We have received a high level security information and we share it with the family, the way we have shared it with all the securities in European and Interpol. This is important. Please keep off major cities, city centers, especially high level tourist areas, high level populations. Keep out, because we hope by releasing this, they understand, we know we understand, and we know the process. And we can release documents to you that if the Jewish community in Paris have been told not to be in public domain from this morning, applies to the rest of the people as well. This is important. When we release security information at this level, it means we are concerned. There is another point which is affecting more or less every single one of us at this point and this moment. We discussed this before. I discussed this again because we see rapid growth in this technology of using mobile phones. We see a number of you, a lot of people using mobile phones now with headphones directly into your ear. Research shows, and we have seen in our research, that direct link between the headphone and the mobile phone, you think you're holding it away, creates direct cancer in the brain and operation of the brain. My advice, and our doctors team can give you the same advice, they're in the background, they can give you scientific papers, and we see it from our own research, that headphone direct connected to the ear can cause severe damage to the brain, especially what we see if during the conversation you get agitated, excited, or get angry. You create a specific kind of fields that in interaction with a headphone, or what we call the earphone, can create a point of high tension and leads to cancer. Please avoid using earphones with your mobile phone. You're concentrating the field directly into the brain. And this can be highly dangerous. 5 to 10 years can lead to cancer of brain. We see huge number of cancer on the even men who carry the mobile phones in their pocket. We see increase in testicle cancer. We see increase in muscle tissue cancer of the upper leg, which has been very, very abnormal. Muscle tissue cancer has been very rare. Now we see a huge increase on those who carry their mobile phones in their pocket or back pocket. Mobile phones have to be away from you in carrying, and when you communicate, keep away even from your head. If you can open on an open channel, you're safe. I know it creates mayhem, but on the other hand, it's your safety. We see a lot of young girls, according to what even talking yesterday in medical teaching, the rate of cancer growth is 100% for those girls who put their mobile phone in their brows and they put it near their breast. Breast cancer rapidly increases, and they say it's 100%. The boys, or when you put the mobile phone between your legs, you're driving, you increase the testicle and prostate cancer. When you place mobile phones in different positions near your body, you increase the possibility of cancers. And now the research is so heavy that the mobile companies are hiding every information on this level. Organization like us is responsible to release these kind of informations. We've seen a lot of people putting the headphone between their helmets and the ear because now they can ride freely. We see men who use these Bluetooth direct into the ear. You increase the chance of cancer by multiple. What we recommend from our research is avoid putting any kind of direct radiation like Wi-Fi, like modems and these things in the vicinity of your bedrooms. Do not carry any mobile in the bed or in the bedroom. A lot of people do, becomes habitual, but there are consequences to directional fields. We absorb it. In the process, once we produce and develop plasma technology for communication, that brings a balance. We have to study that after when we develop it, because now we've gone into the free plasma technology, we see the balance within the body. Everything has got to be checked and developed and strengthened. We don't go out saying we are safe. We have to prove we are safe. We can do, because now the plasma technology is not directional, it's a balance. So the chances of any damage is very, very remote. In the present, what we call communication is one directional. It's continuous till it's picked up. In a plasma technology, transfer of information is a balance point transfer. What you give, you take back. There is not residual left to create damage. And this is important. We ask those of you who work around the foundation, work up the plasma, GaNs and nanomaterials, test these and bring us data. Bring data not to us as a Keshe Foundation family worldwide. We have, and very shortly in the next few weeks, announced the Agricultural Center of the Keshe Foundation. We are talking and hopefully we'll come to an agreement in opening an agricultural center in Italy, where we will do research and development in conjunction with a group of agriculture, what we call the farmers, and we use this place as a point of teaching. It's called Oasis System. It'll be run by Giovanni, and it'll be somewhere near what we call east coast of Italy. We've been to the place. Giovanni in time will come, will announce it in direct position. If you are in agriculture, if you are in the seed production, if you are in what we call animal farming, we have access to physically and precisely assess all developments. So we announced the opening of the Keshe Foundation Oasis Italy, which in turn becomes the Keshe Foundation Agriculture Center. We are looking for those who are well trained in this field to join us. You become a full-time work in research and development in agriculture. Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Italy has gone into industrial production of farming equipment using plasma technology. The first systems will be released to the orders we received. And we have gone a step into, and we have established in Italy, we have brought people on a full-time basis for the establishment of decontamination, water cleanup, and the rest. So in that level, whatever we receive as our request for decontamination on the contracts on the commercial side of the Keshe Foundation, systems will be developed by innovation centers for the application, and the factories of the Keshe Foundation will produce. Those of you who are connected to Keshe Foundation application of technology for manufacturing, energy production systems become more or less minute compared to other application of the technology for manufacturing, farming, industrial use, agriculture, health, and others. We expect more or less beginning startup of these systems in the coming weeks. We will show units, the industrial units in the coming weeks will be shown. Those of you who are in the health business and you want to acquire the systems for your patients, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Austria has gone into production. The systems will go on the Keshe Foundation website next week. The systems for parts, if you want to test or develop magravs and other systems, will go on sale that you can buy what we call non-nano coated as a kit that you can assemble yourself and start teaching and developing your system. There's a discussion about the two different type of manufacturing which we have, as each manufacturer works independently. We have seen the operation of the MAGRAF system reduction 70% in Arizona. And they have repeated the technology for the second time using the third core, or third, what we call MAGRAF system, and seeing a bigger reduction up to about 80–85%. We tested the same combination of the system with the Italian manufacturing, and we do not see it. The people who follow the Keshe Foundation in the UK, they tested it using the 60 Hz frequency. They do not see the same reduction. This is correct. We have found out why in some systems do work. The reduction in Arizona is continuous. In Keshe Foundation development in Italy is, in a way, the reduction is not so much, it takes longer time. We have found out the difference in the process. We are repeating the process in Italy by Monday, hopefully Tuesday latest, and we should see the same performance as Arizona. This is important as part of the structure of the development of the technology for our wireless transmission. I have explained that to the innovation groups past 2-3 days, and we're working on that target. So as we've seen, we thank the Keshe Foundation supporters team who were in Rome, and they took the same principle, took it back to England and repeated it. It is correct. We don't see the reduction the way Arman showed it in Rome. We don't see the reduction we tested in the Rome labs in Italian laboratory. We repeated, we redeveloped the technology again. And now we understand the difference between the two systems, the American system and the British, what they call Italian system. And we release it to you because it's applicable, that instead of what has happened in Arizona, waiting to what we call nano-coat the system, you can directly use the system itself, which is nano-coated, to start the process directly. In a way, we bring it off the wall into the system. This is important because, as I said, we are open structure technology developing company, organization. What we see, we are openly allowed to show why it's not working, and we've seen those who immediately took the opportunity to show their hand that this and that. We have to tell you, we were infiltrated heavily by the Jewish lobby, and they came from Hungary. They infiltrated at a very high level. I was part of the same organization we saw the attacks on Keshe Foundation a few months ago and then disappeared. They embedded a very high level Jewish hidden background in Keshe Foundation, thinking we don't know, but we already had an intelligence report, became part of the what they call themselves as directors of the Keshe Foundation, extremely well hidden in the Jewish lobby, and we have seen him be moved out of the Keshe Foundation very smoothly, in finding him defrauding people in Hungary by 260,000 euro. All the documents will be submitted to courts, as the application submitted to Keshe Foundation was by deception and fraud. We waited for mispresentation, and then we waited for them to submit lawyers' papers that we could actually get them with their own act. The gentleman has defrauded Knights of Malta by 260,000 euro and was kicked out of the Knights of Malta, but in fact the cover was he is Jewish background with illegal activities, and we had all the information. We had to wait till the application submitted on our security levels that we could take action. We welcome the Jewish lobby. You are part of us. But you have to understand, using people to trying to create mayhem in Keshe Foundation does not work. We are one family, we work very openly, and our security apparatus works highly intelligently in the background. Does not matter if you call yourself sir, which you don't deserve because you never carried it. We talk to all the highly influential groups, Masons, Knights, Malta, security services, and we freely share knowledge, and they share knowledge with us. Those who accuse us of all sorts of things by becoming part of Keshe Foundation, not knowing that we know that they have defrauded their own Knights by 260,000 euro, and they are on the list to be for criminal activities and illegal activities. They thought they can disgrace the Keshe Foundation, but we did not show our hand what we had till they made their move. Knights of Malta refuses any connection with the people who call themselves and bear the tag, and then they say they tried to kill them. It's a great accusation against one of the most well-organized orders, and they will respond according with the Keshe Foundation together in this respect. We keep our books straight, but we do not explain why and how we do things. So we don't allow thieves to come in and try to create mayhem. We accept your words till we have our documentation proving otherwise. And we have found, and we have enough access to information, and we will collaborate with the Knights of Malta to prove the infiltration of the Jewish lobby under name and deception and false application information, which allowed them to come in, and then we found out there was no threat, but it's all made up to come in. Please understand, we do these things to protect you, because in protecting you, we protect the foundation, and the same with everything else. We have to explain the understanding of the technology. We have to add to the technology and do not allow others to disturb us, but we all have to be aware of it. In plasma technology, you have to be able to understand the process of transfer of energy. You have to understand the process of how technologies are carried out, how is received, how it perceives to be received, and how you have to change the understanding between the field and the plasma. The beauty with the present condition in the world of technology and science is that we understand a lot of the work of the energy, but we work on field only than a plasma. If you could transfer the knowledge of the field into a plasma, you will find out that your system can work much more efficient. Let me explain the change or the principle when we call a field and when we call a plasma. A field is one way, one directional. A transmitter transmits information out. That's a field. When we speak about the plasma, it means once the field is received, is returned back with different strength information or field to where the source came from. So the difference between the plasma to us as a scientific information and as a field information of a plasma is very, very clear. When you transmit an information from a mast, from a transmitter, you release a field. You don't expect to get it back. And if we get it back, we call it the radar. We have a radar system. We see what comes back, what reflects back. But in plasma technology, we don't wait for reflection. We wait, we measure the feedback, what is received, what is used, and then what is returned to keep the balance, the line of communication. This is the difference between a plasma and a field. Return feedback from the same field strength. One of the things, if you understand this, will make life very, very easy for all of you in every aspect of the Keshe Foundation research and development. You feed the plasma from your coil with the cancer tumor in between to another field coil transmission. And what it goes from one to another, it gets passed on, and it's the feedback. This is how much I used. This is the residual I don't need. And in that process, you empty the cancer cell from its energy. You give in magnetical, you receive in gravitational. And this needs two systems, three systems. You can have multiple systems. This is the definition between the radiation, definition between a transmission of field and a plasma. This is important. This is absolutely vital for you to understand where we come to define the new understanding. It's a feedback of the same using the gravitational or magnetical. We take from magnetical of one, we give to gravitational of the other. Translate this from what we call a system like a medical unit, which you see, to a transmission of the wireless. You need to feed from the magnetical side of your transmission to be able to receive by the gravitational of the other system. We don't keep technology and information out of your sight or out of your knowledge. We give you to develop it that you can pass the information on. I explain this very simply, if you understand. The more knowledge we give you, the more you receive, the more space we open in the knowledge of the man to receive, to share. And this is your responsibility as Keshe Foundation followers. You don't follow a religion. You follow the ethos of correctness with yourself and your soul. Your religion is you. Your temple of believed correctness is your soul. You don't need to go to a mosque. You don't need to go to a temple. You don't need to go to a church. We bring the church in the house of the man, in the soul of the man. We give you knowledge, share it like a prophet with the others, and then you receive more message that you can share more. It's not our weakness that we share knowledge openly. We know the truth and the fact about, by sharing it openly, we receive as a family more that we can receive and be enlightened by more. It's not the fear of sharing, it's the joy of knowing that we have more to give. As we receive more, that we can give more. It's a different school of thoughts. It's a different path of belief. It's a different path of work, and it's a work the way it's done in the universe. This is why the present structured governments are totally confused and they see us as a threat, because they are used to protecting what they have not realized. By delivering, you receive more. This is why we never become a religion, we never become a church, we never become a temple, because we moved the religion, the temple, the church into the house of the man, which is his soul. Look at the Prophet of God. They received the message, they shared, and by sharing, their number grew to millions. Now we are millions sharing millions of knowledge. We become sharing with billions, and when we share, it's not that we receive information from the universal community, we become part of universal community to share our knowledge with what we understand, which can add to the totality of the knowledge. As I always say, when we take man to space, we won't take man as subordinate. We take man as equal. Do not think that everything has to come out from the space or universal or aliens. Part of the knowledge which man has developed is advantageous to the other creatures of the universe. So we are not going in as subordinates. We are going in, we have something to give too. And they appreciate it because not they received and have all the knowledge in the universe. We are part of the jigsaw as a human race. And part of the structure is that we have to learn. The more we share, the more we receive to share. Keep your channels of teaching open. Teach freely. And whenever it's needed, it will be there to support. And if it is not there, it means there is something not right yet. Something has not come together to gel. All the information is not in the package. Don't be afraid of opposition. Don't be afraid of threats. Because the time they spend to oppose you and make threats, you have gathered more energy, more knowledge to be more advanced. By the time they hit nowhere because you already left the position. Share the way we share. Share knowledge freely. Because by sharing it the way what we see on the internet, it brings you a lot of joy, because it's the giving that brings you more information and brings you enlightenment. Human race is not behind with everything else in the universal community. They come here to learn from us, because this planet has a lot of assets, has a lot of information, which has been missing from the universal community. One of them is loving, one of them is sharing. The way human love is very rare. They don't come here to take technology. They come here to share how these people can connect such a way, because our structure is slightly different. They change the structure of their existence to us to feel what we feel as humans. It's not that we are the takers, we need the aliens to teach us. We have a lot to teach to the aliens, which we ourselves are becoming one in respect to the others. Understand the process. It's just different tools. Understand the difference between the field and the plasma. As I said, the teaching is complete. Now is for you to understand the process of the application. In the present communication system, you have a receiver, and then you have to generate energy to send what you want back. In plasma technology, what you receive, you add to in a different format and you send it back, which means you use the same. It's less energy needed, less equipment is needed, less knowledge of transfer is needed. So for most of you who work in the energy or medical or whatever aspects of technology, if you understand this process, it'll be very easy to build wireless systems. But understand how you have to position your wireless system, how you have to work as one integrated system. Tesla was a prophet in the knowledge of science. He gave the message in the right way, but he only understood the fields. He could not extend the knowledge into plasma. As I've said in the past, and I'll repeat again, the prophets of the future will understand both the ethics and the science, and they teach the use of science with ethics. It's not like past, you wash your hand, you pray this, you don't do wrong, and it's not like Tesla that you connect this coil with that coil. We bring the two prophets of science and ethics together as one. And this brings the application of the technologies which they bring in the future, or your understanding, in the ethos of using it. And it has to be your conduct too. When you develop a technology, you see a line, you share it, explain the ethos of what you expect from it, and that'll become your wish becomes your command. I like this technology, this apparatus, this knowledge which I have received and added part of my energy to be used for peaceful application and no others. It shall be done. Learn to interact your physical understanding of the systems, making of the system, with ethics of your soul. You will find out you develop very rapid. You will receive more enlightenment and you understand the process of it, because you have committed yourself in harming no one, which means you won't steal from no one. Try to understand how fields interact. We go into the depth of the knowledge, but the simplicity. Try to understand how the potential of one leads to current flow of the other. This is what I see missing in most of your work. In one of the teachings a few weeks ago, if you go and check, I explained the balance, the potential difference. This potential difference is applicable in every condition of plasma technology. Look at your plasma. Look at your amino acid. Look at understanding of the work of the amino acid. Understand it on a potential difference. Do not look at it as a chemical reaction. Then the things will change. Can I share a screen, please?
Go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
Oh, this is, oops, okay. If you look at your amino acid, you have carbon, you have nitrogen, you have oxygen, and you have hydrogen. If you look at this, you look at it as a chemical interaction.